Hello everybody, this is DisThunder from thefoosh.com, and I'm going to try something new and different and scary today, and that is I'm going to put this bad boy up on YouTube. So, not having an idea what I'm doing, I'm going to do what all good YouTubers do, which is copy off somebody's better ideas. So to do that, I'm going to do a Foosh play day of sorts, like Robo does, but I am going to call this Showcase, because I'm not good with names. But my idea here is showcases are going to be me taking a handful of custom figures that I've done or purchased or whatever over the years that have a common unifying theme and just talk about them for a minute and show them off. So today, obviously, we're going to be focusing on these four figures because they all share custom heads by my good friend IBMMT. So let's start off with his Old Man Punisher head that he did, I'm thinking about 2018. Now, I've known Daniel, or Benty, I've known him probably about 15 years, and one of the benefits of being in this hobby as long as I have is when you make friends like Daniel, you get to watch their talents grow in real time. So we went from being a couple of contemporary customizers on the Foosh forums to whatever the hell I do now, and Benty becoming a guy who can digitally create, render, and then print and paint a head sculpt like this. Now, when it comes to the Frank Castle Punisher, I've always been partial to the Vietnam origin because it's such an integral part of his character. So having a Punisher that actually looks like he could be in his late 60s is a major bonus for my display. And I'm hoping my lighting is doing it justice here. I actually want to keep it a little bit in shadow. I think that's coming across because the age and the wrinkle lines that he sculpted into this are amazing. And it really does look like the Mezco Frank Castle head sculpt that we got just aged up 20 years. So this next one he did either last year or late 2019. This is, of course, a hard act Batman based on the animated series episodes where there was a replicant made of him. And if the sculpt is based pretty closely on the Sovereign Knight Mezco head. Actually, it's dead on. And so, of course, I put on a Mezco Sovereign Knight body with a exposed cable forearm and some wire sticking out. I'm going to go freehand so we can get a little closer. As you can see, he did a very cool Terminator-esque sculpting on that left side with a little bit of flesh tone poking through here and there, and then those red eyes. And lastly, let's take a look at a couple of Dragon Ball Z heads he did for me. This was no easy task, and it's always a tough one to pull off, bringing an anime character into more realistic, like a Mezco style, because there's always an uncanny valley effect, and it doesn't always translate well. But me personally, I think he did an outstanding job, and I love these two figures. That's why I keep showing them off. For Vegeta, we kind of looked at some cosplayers and some DeviantArt stuff to see if we could find kind of a nice mix of realistic and cartoony. And I think overall, I mean, from the way the hair swept, where it still feels like there's some gravity at work, to the kind of squinty eyes and that little bit of a grin on his face, I think he nailed it. And so all I had to do was come up with a body for it, which in this case is a Mezco Cyclops that I shortened and added some Moon Knight boots and gloves to. And like I said, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And last but certainly not least, let's take a look at Goku, who he pulled off quite possibly one of the coolest hair sculpts I've ever seen. And I love how it changes depending on the angle you look at it. But I mean, he's got that cowlick that is, actually he's got two cowlicks that are instant recognizable as Goku. And I like the stern, kind of focused head sculpt. Somebody suggested on my Instagram that we ought to try to do a Super Saiyan 1. So of course I bugged him and he obliged. So I'll take a crack at that in the next few weeks here and I'll show off the results. But I love having these two characters in a Mezco style because that's my collection. So being able to incorporate something that's kind of a recent fandom for me. Dragon Ball Z is something that I avoided for decades and then found myself kind of falling over into in the last couple of years. And I just have really grown to appreciate these characters and the aesthetics and the storylines and everything else. So to have figures that go with my stuff, well, I feel pretty damn spoiled if I'm being honest about it. So I'm going to finish up on the group shot here. If you are looking to enlist Mr. I Bent My Man Thing's skills, You can always find him on the Foosh.com in the forums under I Bet My Man thing. If you would like to see more of his stuff, he actually just posted a G.I. Joe classified Duke head that he should have on eBay shortly. You can find him at IBMMT. And then if you're looking for me, you can always find me at Foosh DisThunder on Instagram, where I spend most of my time because YouTube is still new and scary to me. But thanks for joining me on this. If you guys enjoy it and it works well, maybe we'll do some more. Have a good day.